Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Hanukkah for those who celebrate. I think that it was actually a couple days, or like a couple days ago, Hanukkah started. So if I missed it yesterday, I'm so sorry. I think it was yesterday actually when it started. So happy Hanukkah. We're going to be doing writing sprints today. But before I get started, I somehow fucking surpassed 800 subscribers on YouTube, which is insane, effectively because of one video. Absolutely nuts. So thank you so much to everybody who has gotten me to 800 subscribers. Totally nuts. Let me see. Yeah, this video now has 3.1k views. Absolutely nuts. Wow. I don't know how many followers I got from it. 76. Absolutely nuts.
Here's your coffee.
Thank you for this coffee.
You're welcome.
But I wanted to say thank you to everybody who subscribed over on YouTube. Also, Liminal House just hit 200 on TikTok. It hit 100 on YouTube. That's insane. So thank you so much to the most recent subscribers that I can see. I see, I think it's Vina Weissel, or Vina Weissel. Thank you. Catastrophically Lori, Zatenna, Steward of Autumn, Sarah Bean, many others. Thank you so much over on YouTube. And also thank you, Aqua, for that sub, my friend. Thank you so much. Yo, 6-month streak. You are slowly climbing the ranks. Low-key not doing the rest of my project for this PoE class because my grade won't change with as much as I've done. You know, honestly, sometimes it's tough because you just got to cut your losses sometimes. And it's like, it's okay to do that. I feel like people really make it seem like it's like if you miss assignments or you decide to just not do stuff, that it's the worst of all time. But I've done plenty of college classes where you get to the end and you're like, if I don't do this assignment, I'll still get like a pretty decent grade or something. I'll still pass. It's like, and then you just gotta kind of just, you know what I mean? I am so sorry that your teacher fucking writes a class with AI. Like, I literally would be like, tweaking. Like, what even? Okay. I need to plot this. We're going to be doing a lot of outlining today. Hi, Cal. How you doing, though? It's so stupid, bro. Yeah, no, legit. Wow, wait, no, I can't even imagine. We're cooked. Like, you know it's bad when a teacher can't fucking figure out how to come up with their own content. Like, I could probably pull like an entire art curriculum out of my ass. Now, could I use AI to organize the content in a readable and digestible way? Sure, that's a good use for that tool. Should I go into fucking ChatGPT and be like, write me an entire art class? No, by God. Oh, I don't want to go into work tomorrow. It's just going to be 15 pallets. Oh, no. Oh, God. Yeah, I literally just did. Oh wait, people low key people playing Uno. Okay, go win, go win, annihilate at Uno. You have one job, and it's to win. Yeah, no, I was literally just talking with other people about how like effectively like it was actually Josh who God, I can't remember his last name. He's on the Daily Show. He had a fantastic clip about AI and why he's not worried about it taking his job, because people ask him that all the time, and he had a phenomenal response to it about how in the end it doesn't fucking matter because it can't do what we do. Oh, this coffee's really good. I'm praying I get sick. I mean, it's a shame that your mom also works at the same place, because if it was me, I'd be like, I got the black lung pop, and then I wouldn't go. All right, so you guys get to see my outline process on the back end of this. So we're going to do some sprints today. So feel free to be productive. Go and do things that you need to do, chores, play games, work on art, things like that. I'm very tired. I think consistently over the last like 7 days, I've averaged about 4 to 5 hours of sleep. So, sorry if I seem extra loopy, extra weird, or I can't hold thoughts. Part of it is me changing this medication, and then part of it is because I've had this cold. And then now Jace has the cold. And so between the two of us, like coughing, sneezing, and like not being able to breathe at night, I just haven't fucking slept. So, we're going to do that. I'm going to put together some outlines for these novellas. And we're going to just kind of see how it goes. I'm going to be using my favorite method, which is the 3-act 27 chapter outline method. And then I'm going to plot out all 3 of these novellas, actually, because I want to make sure that they have some continuity. This one is going to be tough because some of these it's going to be a lot of research to make sure that things are period accurate. So, wishing me luck on that. And then, yeah, I'll come back in a little bit and we can chat about everything that's going on. But for those of you who didn't see the announcement, I'm actually super, super stoked. The best little announcement that I had today is that I opened Amazon and my book was a #1 new release over in religion and spirituality manga, which is really, really cool. So thank you to everybody who helped me get this project out, because clearly it's meant to be something, otherwise we wouldn't have stuck with it for this long. So thank you so much for anybody who has contributed to this project or helped me get here. So I really appreciate it a lot. Okay, so let me open up Flocus. I realize I don't have that open. This is such a beautiful song. Is this in my liked songs, Nako? Oh my god, no it is. This guy is one of my, I don't know which type of Cherakawa he is, or which type of Apache he is, pardon me. But he's a Inde sibling of mine. Welcome in. May my skin rot. What a unique, I love that username. Wait. First of all, that's amazing. Welcome in. So I have a lot going on. My name's Tycho. I'm a multi-author, book author. If you want to check out anything that I have going on, you can check out my website here. But I have loads of different books, 11 at this point. But my most recent book, and the one that was a #1 new release on Amazon. Hello, what happened to this? Are you looking at this? What happened? It fell off. There he goes. But yeah, the one that was a #1 new release on Amazon is my graphic novel. It's called Heaven's Equal, but this one is volume 2 specifically. Nothing Happens by Chance, which was a #1 new release, which is insane. But I write a lot of fantasy, so if you want to check out any of my stuff, some of my books are free to read. So feel free to just browse, check it out. Today we're going to be working on outlines. If you've never been in sprints before, effectively the way that the sprints work is that we're going to be opening up timers, and then I rolled a dice to determine how long we're going to be writing for. And so in this case, we're only going to be writing now. This first sprint is only going to be 16 minutes. So we're going to do that and listen to some nice rain cafe sounds and some nice music. So feel free to go and hang out for 16 minutes, be productive. You can watch my process. You can always ask me any questions in my chat while we're working. I think I hate my username. I can't change it. Oh no, that's so sad. I think it's iconic. I really love it. Yeah, so come sit and join. Enjoy the planning. If you like the stream, be sure to pop a follow. But otherwise, it's very mellow in here. So you're always welcome to chat during the sprints. I'm going to be kind of quiet during these sprints, but they tend to be anywhere between like 10 and 20 minutes. And then I'll come back at the end of the timer and we can chat, hang out, eat some snacks, that kind of stuff. So I will see all of you in 20 minutes. Feel free to hang out. Let me know what you're working on. Definitely chat with me about your book. I would love to hear about what you're writing. And then I will see you all in about 16 minutes. Here we go. Alrighty, how did everybody do? I I effectively wrote the outline out, and I'm looking over all of my notes for my previous books, for the Brady Von Altus books, because all three of these novellas are based on Brady, and trying to organize my fucking thoughts here. It's a lot of like making sure I have all of my timeline in a row, because these novellas take place between 1980 and 1994. I'm dying. But thank you so much for the follow, May. That was really, really nice. Welcome to the Retro Arcade crew. How did everybody else do? What are y'all working on? Oh, you're working on the Yoda hat. Very nice, very nice. Let's see. Hydrate. Everybody drink some liquids. I have a coffee with some melted whipped cream in it. Make sure you sit up straight, and also everybody give a good stretch. We have a self-care combo. Take care of yourself. Oh my god, I stretched and my whole spine exploded. Oh, nice. I heated up tomato soup and cut up hot dogs to have in it. That sounds delicious. Get yourself some dippy bread and you got a deconstructed hot dog. Wow, that's incredible, though. Oh, we're to Ad Town. We got Ad Town. Adtown is not a place I live. Ha ha! Why did I imagine you like jumping up and you like clicked your heels and you're like hee hee, like a little Keebler elf. That was what I envisioned in my head. That's exactly the vibe. Just yippee! Fucking wealthy is a funny thing to call me. I can't. Okay, so I've organized all of my notes over here. God, this is why I got trapped. All right, this is why I got trapped. Okay, so effectively, these are my notes here. We have the first novella follows Maurice, Brady's dad. He's a bar guest. This novella should follow him as he disobeys his mother, leaves the basement to go and quell a supernatural threat. and saves his town, but almost dies while dealing with the fact that he's constantly being called back to the Dark Realm to complete his fairy duty as a soul messenger, which is an allegory for severe mental illness. This novella takes place in 1980 and should end with him at meeting Helen, who ends up being the love of his life and Brady's mom. So the reason I'm making these notes is so that way, one, I'm very fucking tired, and if I forget, I'm going to be really angry because I'm going to be like, I had this really great idea on stream, and then it's going to be like my brain became a popcorn. So we're going to write this down. And then, two, I want to make sure that my timeline is literally tight as a fucking drum. Because certain things like this I'm gonna need to remember. So that's gonna be the overall vibe. Is the year is 1980 and Baris is unwell. And then now I can actually start crafting the outline. I don't know how I should organize this thing, though, y'all. Okay, so what do you think? Because I don't typically write novellas. So this thing is going to be like 25,000 words, right? Each novella is 25,000. So, knowing that, this is not going to have chapters. Because, like, if I include chapters, then they're going to feel really choppy, which is not great. And I think separating things out instead in each of these novellas and breaking them down, the chapters become there's only 3 chapters per book. And those chapters are Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3. Does that make sense? And they may not even be traditional chapters, like inside the book. If you were to open it up, there'd be like a full splash page or something that has like part 1, part 2, part 3 on it. Right? I don't know if that sounds crazy. And then like at that point, these become beats that are each around, let me see if my math is right. Between 1100 wait. And 800 and 1100 words, I think. So I'm gonna make I'm gonna like kind of break down the ones that are really tiny into these 800 word ones, and then the bigger ones can be larger. Okay, honestly, okay, thank you, May. That helps. What are you working on? What kind of stuff do you like to write, May? What is your favorite stuff to work on? This bagel got very hard because of the sugar in it. I'm gonna have to put it to the side. It gets rejected now. Goodbye, bagel. You were kind. This is like my favorite Fleetwood Mac song, and nobody knows that it exists. Okay. Alright, so, that being said, we chatted for about 10 minutes. So let me know what you're working on in the chat. Let me roll for a new, This is the weird version of this song. Do I not have the right one? This is the one I want. Hold on. Hold the phone. We're gonna fix this. I do not like this version. We need to listen to this one. This live version is everything to me. So good. Okay, so we got 14. A longer sprint. So we got a 22-minute sprint this time. Sorry, I'm still kind of dying because I was sick. Okay. So now, let's go ahead and work for 22 more minutes. I'm going to jump back into trying to sort this outline out now. And then I will see you all at the end of 22 minutes. Good luck. All right, everyone. Oh, we're in the middle of an ad. Everybody should sit up straight, though. May redeemed a posture check, so don't be shrimping. Sit up. I was shrimping real bad, so that was probably for the best. These novellas are gonna break me, y'all. Oh my god. Not me literally having a breakdown writing this outline. Oh, this physically hurts me. Let me finish writing this little outline here. This one is not going to be the hard one to write. This one's going to be the hard, like, I guess the hard one to write emotionally. The hard one to write is going to be Rolos, because I need to do a bunch of fucking research on the USSR to make sure I'm not, like, on coke when I'm working on it. But this is going to be rough. Outlining is always so overwhelming. Mood, though, I feel like I like doing this. I prefer being a little bit of a planner. I used to just pants all my stuff where I would just write, but I found that it doesn't help me stick close enough to genre expectations or to set realistic goals for myself. So I love outlining, but it's also like it is a lot of meticulous work. Also, love that you write novels and fantasy. We are definitely fantasy fans in here. I haven't read a lot of dramas, though. That's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I would definitely define these novellas as, like, contemporary fantasy, paranormal fantasy, for sure. This is so fucking sad. Alright, so effectively what we've got for this outline so far... I'm going to be giving these full outlines, by the way, to people who are... in my Ko-fi subscriptions, by the way. So if you're early access, you'll get all of this outline, so you'll be able to check this out and look at my notes and all of that stuff. But yeah, effectively, we have this story is effectively I didn't think about this. Boris is effectively dealing with living in the basement with his mom because he's a bar guest and he can't go outside. And something starts killing a bunch of people in Maple Hills. And I didn't think it was going to be the same villain from the Blockhead book, but it's the same guy. And it makes sense. It makes so much fucking sense. But a Slua, he's a Slua, and he probably has a group of Slua that are doing this, that are killing a bunch of people, and then taking souls. Because they don't want to respect the treaty between Zarkashche and Gran, effectively. So they've gone over to the United States and are just ceaselessly killing for no reason. Which ain't great. And then Boris, meanwhile, is struggling with his call to the Dark Realm, which is telling him to go and collect human souls, because that's what he's supposed to do as a fairy, as a bar guest. And he's just not doing that, and so it's making him effectively very mentally unwell. Ends up going outside to try and solve the problem himself to protect his siblings, because if the Slua can kill humans, then that means that Liz and Rolo are on the chopping block, which is not great. Ends up seeing a human working at a cafe and fantasizes a lot about, like, what it would be like to be human so that he doesn't have to fucking suffer anymore. That makes him super sad. And then he ends up figuring out exactly what's going on, fucks up a meeting with Helen, who chucks coffee on him, because that makes sense. And then his mom effectively is like, you need to go and take care of this Slua issue because Zarkashche is breaking my treaties and I don't like that. And so she's effectively using Boris as a tool to go and make sure her fairy politics are all in order, which is also really shitty. So poor Boris just gets like all three of these siblings actually just get like super steamrolled, and definitely the theme of these novellas is like, I don't know, if I had to like sum it up, it would be like let me see. Let me scroll back up in my notes here. It's like breaking free from childhood trauma, family legacy, like that kind of stuff. But the cruel truth that that escape is often temporary, and these novellas are a commentary on like generational trauma and how victims often return to what they know even when it hurts them or even when it kills them. Like you can't escape that. And that is what makes the Brady books really powerful, is that Brady is the breaker of that generational trauma as the kid in the family. So these books are gonna be hard. They're gonna be nice and short, though. It's gonna be kind of interesting writing something that's like literally a third of the normal length of book that I typically write. So I'm kind of curious about that. I don't know. It's gonna be intense. But y'all wanted this. Y'all wanted the suffering. This is what y'all y'all voted for. Hooray for pain. Oh my god. Oh, let me look back up through the other previous chat messages too. Planning a word count for each chapter is low-key smart. Yeah, I don't think necessarily everybody does it, and I don't think it's 100% necessary, but I think for something like this, for something this short for me, I really want to be able to make sure I'm not overwriting on accident or underwriting, because I want to be able to make sure that this thing is at least 25,000 to 35,000 words per book. And then they all need to be consistently about the same size. So that's what's going to be really hard about this project. Because I'm making like 3 that follow the same cadence. Oh, this is so crazy. Oh my god. Why would you... Hello? Why are you caps locked? What? It's only in this document. Hello? Why? Thank you, weirdo. Yeah, it was like, everything will be caps, even though caps lock's not on. Have fun. I'm like, I'm gonna have to figure out how this whole thing, this is gonna be a very difficult moment to write in terms of like how I actually mechanically need it to work. maybe not even this. That's what I'm gonna have him do. All these dogs have little bells, and when they go ringy, 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 they have to go, and it's a Pavlov joke. I just added all of my milk to my coffee, so that way it stops being pure caffeine. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and jump back into this final part of this outline and then start the next outline as well. So let me roll to see how long we're going to go. Shorter one this time. Also, everybody should hydrate. And then let's go ahead and get started on this next section. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in for a 17-minute sprint. And I will see everybody at the end of it. Good luck, and we got this. We got this. Alrighty, how did everybody do? I got done with my first outline and then I got started on Rolos and then I realized I fucked up. I knew that this was going to happen to me as soon as I started working on this because I need to do a lot more research. I've had these ideas floating around in the back of my head, but to be able to get it to logistically work is going to be the difficult thing because originally in my mind I was like Rolo's a foreign exchange student going from an American college to a Russian one in the USSR. But the problem with that is that for the majority of the Cold War, those foreign exchange programs didn't exist. So I've been over here, mostly what I was doing is doing research, trying to figure out how the fuck an American student would get into the USSR at that point, because Rollo is not exceptional. But I think the way that it happened is that the only reason he was able to get over there is because he effectively was going to the University of Burlington. There was a vaguely defined cultural immersion program that routed through Finland, sponsored by a European NGO during the Perestroika period, and they needed X number of students to go. And if Rollo didn't go, the whole group wouldn't be able to go. And so he was like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. And that's how he ends up over there. So I had to fucking really double check and make sure that I'm not doing anything incorrect. Early level Soviet Union exchange numbers were really, really bad, apparently from like 58 to 59. But by Gorbachev, that changed pretty dramatically in terms of what we were doing with USSR exchange. So I got to do a lot of historical fiction research, and I am not excited. I don't know why I did this to myself. It started as a joke, too. I was like, what if this guy died because of the Russian mob? And it was just supposed to be funny. It was supposed to be like a one-off, like, joke. And then Liz was like, you got hit by a train in that first book. And I was like, what the fuck happened to this man? And so now this has spiraled out of control. And now I'm like, I'm trapped in here. Finish the base of the Yoda hat. Gonna make the ears and the edge braids. Very nice, very nice. I am suffering. God, he's so fucking stupid. Rollo's so dumb. It's not his fault. I think I'm also going to have them effectively, like, they were given, like, little jobs. And I'm sure that they were like, you're going to be training as a foreign liaison. And then he's like, okay. And then it just goes fucking really poorly from there. And that's how we're going to get from point A to point B. It's going to be awful. But it's going. So I don't know. Hopefully I will be able to have effectively good suspension of disbelief. I'm like looking over research here. Good suspension of disbelief without completely nuking my overall ideas here. gotta get through baristas first. And then Liz's is just gonna be fucking depressing. So all in all, these are gonna be low-key traumatizing. At the end of the day, Gran is just fucking evil. That's like, it's so bad. I guess that's kind of a given, though. For those of you who haven't read my Brady Von Altus books, they center around this kid, Brady, with a very extraordinary family. He's got like a Barghest for a dad, an aunt that's a swamp witch, an uncle who's a poltergeist, and his grandma is like this possessed puppet. And the family has all of these interpersonal issues, and each of the different Brady books he goes through dealing with his family's interpersonal issues and like learning life lessons himself. And I don't know. I think that all three of these kids grew up in this fucking house and they didn't know what real was, what life was. And it messed them up, effectively, for the rest of forever. And then Brady being exposed to the real world. I think that was Gran's biggest mistake, actually, was that, like, overall, she thought that she could keep a grip on her kids, but Brady was the first kid out in the real world, and she tried really hard to make it so that he was, you know, that he had learned magic and things like that, but he just didn't. He was incapable of doing it. And so, because he was the only one out in the world, he was the first one to realize that how fucked up everything was. Super messed up. Alright, on that note, I'm gonna roll for another sprinty. Daddy, when it comes down and it won't make a sound, you'll run for cover. Alright, we got an 18-minute one, so kind of tiny, not super huge. Feel like you're what you came here for. 1 minute longer than what we did last time. Alright, so I'm gonna get started on this. Keep making sure my research is good. I'm so fucking tired. I'm gonna maybe try and take a nap today. I don't know. Part of me wants to just kind of stay awake until, well, no, I need to sleep because I need to be able to go to the gym. I don't know. I have borked myself being unable to sleep. But that is a conversation and a thing I have to think about another day. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into a sprint, and then I will see you all on the other side. Here we go. Alright, how did everybody do? The shit's getting intense. I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna be able to write this like a sane person. This is the saddest, like, fucking shit I've ever written into an outline. This is worse than, like, or I actually, no, no, I can't say that. I was gonna say that this is worse than working on everything that isn't me. But I think that son of a bitch takes the cake for being, like, the most traumatizing, book that I've worked on so far. So I finished half of, or I'm almost all the way through Rollo's outline. I think I'm actually going to be able to get through Liz's outline today, which is good, because then by the end of the year, I can start working on it. I'm going to have to sit down and create the publishing pipeline schedule. I had considered, like, yesterday, maybe, I don't know, maybe releasing 2 books a year, but I think that that's just going to be too stressful for me. And ultimately, I want people to have time to read my books in between their releases. And I can work on things in between, like audiobooks or graphic novels, like those kinds of things, and focus on that, I think. Oh my god, I just found a typo in this pattern that made me backtrack like 3 times. Wow, that sucks. I'm so sorry. Literally cursed. That's evil, actually. Yeah, that's actually legitimately cursed. I feel like booty. I wish that I wasn't, like, gross feeling. Oh my god. Y'all, I'm so tired. Oh, my brain is starting to turn to scrambled eggs. I'm gonna have to try and take a nap. This is the only way that I'm gonna be able to survive this, I think. Stretch! Everybody stretch! Thank you so much, mate. Actually, I needed that really, really bad. I popped my back like 19 times. You called out for tomorrow, too. I'm sorry, BB. This is your brain on drugs. Where's that song? Do 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 do. That's normally in the Appetite playlist. I can go find it, though. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? I'm gonna find it. I don't remember what this song is called. Up, there it is. Boop, there we go. Do, 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 do. Now is my brain tired and sick, actually? Yeah, that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Fawn taking Mutol for the first time. That's what this song is. Yeah, I'm gonna try and take a nap. I normally don't have the ability to do that. Like, my body just really does not like to do it. But I'm gonna try. We're gonna see if I can make it happen. And if I can at least lie down for like an hour, I should be good. Because I really wanted to go to the gym today, and I'm just mad that my body is like... I think it's partially because I'm switching from like one type of medication to another for my seizure stuff that I got going on. And suddenly I have way more energy than I'm used to. Like, my brain was used to being effectively suppressed by a mega depressant, effectively. And now it's not. Now suddenly it has way more energy. And so it makes it hard. And I would take melatonin, but I'm not sure if I want to do that until I'm fully transitioned onto the new med yet, if that makes sense. So I can't take melatonin, which is normally how I go the fuck to sleep. So I've just been kind of just laying in bed, and then we've been really sick. So it's been a lot of like, I can't sleep because my nose is all messed up, or I'm like coughing or whatever. And it's like, this is pain. I just want to sleep. Alright, we got another 17-minute sprint, which is actually kind of perfect for the very end of this stream, I think. Alright, so let me see if I can finish both of these outlines by the end of stream. And then I'm going to go try and lay down. I recognize I just drank some coffee, but we'll see if it'll allow me to just, like, I don't know, if I'll just go to sleep. I only drank half of a cup of coffee. So... let's go ahead and get through this last sprint, and then I'll say goodbye at the very end of the stream. So here we go. Let's do it. We got it. Last one. Alrighty. That was it. Hydrate! Everybody drink liquids! Okay, so I ended up doing a bunch of research about what Ukraine looked like right after the Soviet Union dissolved, so I ended up not getting very far on this outline. I'm probably just going to finish this up off stream, I think. Oh, we got a self-care combo to round out the end of stream. Everybody stretch. Everybody take care of yourself. Sit up nice and straight. Don't be crusty. Don't be crispy. I think I'm going to be able to get through this. Wowee, this is some sad shit. I have to try and figure out how to end this with some semblance of hope. Because I don't want to end this novella trilogy. I need to have each of these end with, like, some bittersweetness. I think people will be able to purchase these independently, and while it's going to be best if they are read in chronological order from Boris to Rollo to Liz, they should be standalones enough that people could read them by themselves. And, like, each of them are going to have to deal with really heavy themes, like Boris's is mental illness, Rollo's is morality, and then Liz's is, like, postpartum depression and traumatic family choices, so it's, like, it's a lot of, like, really heavy shit. I'm curious, I'm excited, and I'm curious. So, it should be really fun to read. That means that I'll be back for sprints next week. It'll be right before Christmas, and then I gotta go down and make tamales with my mom. And so I'll be back for one final writing stream for the end of the year, and then we're gonna be done with 2025. So I'll be back doing this next week, but of course I'll be here tomorrow to work on Heaven's Equal, considering I missed literally a week last week and wasn't able to work on any of the comic, so that was awful. So if you want to pop back in, see me tomorrow. I'll be working on the comic then. But thanks so much to Made My Skin Rot for following. That was really, really nice. To Aqua for a 6-month sub. That's incredible. And then, yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Here's hoping that I get a little bit of sleep. I'm going to finish up this outline, and then hopefully I will see you all soon. So have a good rest of your afternoon. I will see you later, and I hope everybody gets good sleep. It seems like we're all exhausted and tired, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.